social agenda. One of the reasons for that, well, the American people seem less worried than they have been about what's going on in the country. A recent poll had reasons
so hey kids, what's everyone up to today? Everyone's just chilling out. It's not pretty hot out today. Everyone's been like, let's decided to bring you a Iraqi update. So yes, another day as another event is unfolding in another part of the world, in another dimension, in another universe. There's apparently from what I've heard from the videos, there's some sort of thing where it's broken, and now someone's like, you have to put the rack in brackets, and someone's buying it, and they're like, oh yes, and there's all kinds of bitter haggling, and end game manifestos and stuff like that, commanders and chiefs and stuff like that, with communication issues, and they're all like, oh, my Arabic is pretty, my Iraqi language is like, oh, it's not so good today, and they're like, oh no, and my translator, it's like, oh, Iraq will be more secure and successful, and they're like, oh, that's great, and I'm like, there's never been a better day than this today, and I'm like, oh, man, and they're like, oh, what about the insurgents, and then they're all like, oh, what can you do, they're yours now, and it's like, oh, thanks, and I was like, be careful what you wish for, and they're like, go back to talking about bailouts and stuff, like, oh, yes, and they're like, oh, as long as Iraq is successful and more secure, and it's like, oh, the Malachi guy comes on, he's like, oh, this is kind of a pickle, actually, and they're all like, oh, we're not listening, it's like, oh, yeah, so yeah, this is whatever, but also in other news, there's also some sort of, epidemic of little people running around, and they've got, like, sharp objects, and they're like, I don't know where they're getting their blood from, but they're like, this is going at the police, and they're like, hey, look at me, I'm like, I'm being stabbed, and they're like, oh, let's check you out, and I'm like, oh, you look fine, and you're just covered in blood, it's like, oh, no, I'm stabbed, and they're like, oh, I don't think you are, but anyway, bye!